The band's longtime collaborator and friend Christopher Mills has put together the first video for a great song, Superstar, which goes to radio tomorrow. And it's quite unlike any other Blue Rodeo video I've ever seen. So who, if you watch Stranger Things, we're all into parallel universes these days. So imagine the parallel universe, Stranger Things, where Blue Rodeo was a Riot Girl group. And with that, Superstar. Chris, fantastic. Thank you so much. And please welcome our hosts, Blue Rodeo.
Well, that's what happens when you get older, folks. You're replaced by young women in your own video. I was totally against the idea. I'm so glad we did it. They look so much better than us.
I think we're just supposed to welcome you for coming in. So thank you all for coming
Oh,
down.
yeah, we're doing?
I mean, this is our 15th record. I know that this maybe gets old for some of you, but it doesn't really get old for us because we've been sort of incubated in here for the last year, and now we get to sort of present a record to everybody. So we appreciate you coming down and showing interest. So thank you. I think if there's,
Yeah,
we can ask
if
you
anybody
questions.
has any questions that they'd like to ask the band, we could get some stuff going. But actually, let me start.
That's a good idea.
It's always good.
It'll look like they were bubbling with questions.
And they're all your friends. That's the
I
problem.
know. It's good. It's like camp.
You don't record all of your records here. Why'd you record this one here?
I think a lot of it had to do with Tim. I think that we've been going back and forth to Greg's studio on here, and Tim Vestley, who is house engineer plus bass player and Rio Statics, creator of Rio Statics, we did our Christmas record here, and it was such a great experience working with Tim and working in here, and we just thought that's a good foundation to start. It's a little difficult for Greg, as some of you might know. He didn't get here for the Facebook Live, so coming from the east is pretty tough on the 401. But other than that, and that's just his problem, the rest of it is really convenient, and we just had got a good vibe going in here. It was a little difficult the last record, although I think it worked out well, to go back and forth between Greg's studio and this studio. We never really got the technology worked out, and we were sort of following a lot of guidance from Tim about, just recapturing some of the features of Blue Rodeo that we had sort of grown so used to, we'd just forgotten about. Greg and I singing back and forth vocals, and we just seemed to have a good, we knew where to go when we were in here, so it seemed like this was the place to do it.
Here.
Some Canadian bands avoid touring in January and February in Canada, and you guys have toured so much for a couple of decades. Why are you gonna brave the Canadian winter in January?
Well, I think we sort of realized that, just as you said, nobody tours there. And so the country was wide open. People were happy to have us come to their towns, in the cold winter nights. And it's a nice way to break up the winter. It's a nice, just to be in a different town every day. And so you see a lot of different winters, as you go across the country. And now, everybody sort of does it. People are really into doing Canada in the wintertime for the very same reasons.
We're trailblazers.
Yes, we are.
Nick?
Superstar is a really different song for you guys. It's very poppy, very aggressive. What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, the lyrical inspiration was we did a trip to Los Angeles about a year and a bit ago, a year and a half ago, and Colin and I do road biking, so we got bikes and rode around. We rode like initially right through Beverly Hills, right? And we were just like both of us were just, we know how opulent LA can be. We've been there a million times. We were just gobsmacked by the size of the houses and the disgusting display of wealth. So that was where that came from. But we'd always planned on doing this kind of poppy record. And frankly, I've done a lot of that beat. Maybe not to that success, but I've done a lot of that beat. Anyway, that's where it came from.
Gene.
Hi guys, over here. Just that you're playing Massey Hall again. How many times have you played Massey Hall, and does
Well,
it ever get old?
It's funny, we played it second to Gord,
33.
33 times,
33 now.
and it's so close to Gord, who's 142.
That's right.
Can you imagine? 142 times he's played Massey Hall. So yeah, we're 33,
It never gets old.
and we're number 2.
No, it
That doesn't get old till 100.
Yeah.
Hey guys, was this album easier to record compared to, say, to the 14 other ones that you've done in the past?
I would say yes, it was easier because, well, for one thing, we did it in one location. We did it with Tim, who is possibly the most easygoing engineer, co-producer we've ever worked with. And we've also, it's our 15th studio record, so we kind of figured it out by now.
And he says that though, but they're never easy.
Well, this one was
They're
easy.
never
This one was
easy.
comparatively easy.
Well,
you know?
comparatively.
Yeah.
And you know, and the finesse of that is sort of ridiculous, but they're never easy. They're always sort of a, there's
I'm
always
never
like-
around for the hard part, though. I'm in and out of here.
Well,
Yeah, you don't agree with me.
no, I was just gonna say, then it gets easier.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
Too late now.
but even then, like, you know, I know for me, it's always like, you know, you're trying to get the best out of yourself, and that's not an easy thing to do, this old carcass.
I guess it depends on you guys.
I actually, I wanted to ask, for the guys that aren't main writers in this band, when you hear the news, like, what is the dynamic with regards to what you guys bring into the recording of these songs after Jim and Greg bring them to the table?
Well, I could say that the songs generally come in as a shell, you know, like a very simple, like an instrument and a voice, and then we're allowed to add on to the.
Wanna hear this
the
from
mic.
Gordon?
Oh my God. I'll never let it go. And then you get to basically add your, you know, impression on it. And I think the great thing about Blue Rodeo is that I feel that we're all able to bring our personality to the songs. So you start in a very simple way, but in my case, for example, like I get to bring in like guitar parts, like hooks or things that are sort of contrary to the basic structure of the song, and then that becomes part of the fabric, and then everybody else does the same thing, and then in our sort of collective way, we decide what the best representation is, and I honestly think that's what makes for a good band, is everybody getting to do that.
On a more basic level, I'm just affected by the lyrics. When they put a song out and, whoa, you know, it affects me, and then what I lay down is really a reflection of the song. So it moves me, then moves the fingers.